The nightclub is extraordinarily successful, and we both know why.
I could replace him in a second.
Tuesday.
Bring on the first little freak! Next!
H-R.
Why are you not stuffed in a locker somewhere? Get off my stage! You don't have the range, babe.
She's been consuming liquor blood.
Next! Woo!
FX's What We Do in the Shadows. All new Tuesday at 10 on FX. Stream on Hulu.
Don't sing if you want to live long. They have no use for your song. You're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead and out of this world.
You're listening to League Podcast, the Vampire Council, What We Do in the Shadows Podcast, Season 4, Episode 9, Freddie. I'm Matt Dursin.
Clay Inferno here.
So here we are. We are at the penultimate, as we like to say, episode of Season 4.
Because once you learn that word, you have to use it in the right way.
It's true.
When it comes up. You know, and then I would be mad if we like forgot to say penultimate. I think.
Yeah, you have to. So like, there's a couple of things though. So we were speculating for the entire season basically what they're gonna do with Marwa. How are we gonna?
Yes,
you know,
and also speculating about Baby Colin.
Right. So they kind of wrap up both of those things. Not quite wrap up Baby Colin, because. You know, but he's not baby anymore. It's basically, they even say, I think he even says that he's not really a baby anymore.
Yeah, he starts out the episode pretty young, but then he all of a sudden like uses the hotel bathroom and comes out like teenager guy.
Right. It's so, but like he's supposed to be singing in the nightclub still, but he can't sing as like a kid, like a dude, you know what I mean? Like a teenage kid. I love non-baby Colin. Like he's like an angry teenager. It's so funny.
Yeah, he's like I said, like the baby Groot.
Like
teenage baby Groot.
Yeah, I'm Groot. Oh, listen to you. Language. You know, they're like, I love it. But and so that's a whole Nadja thing because like Nadja, this is why anybody comes to her vampire nightclub is to see baby Colin Robinson. And then so she tries auditioning other babies, or kids. I shouldn't call them all babies. They're not babies, but like they're kids. It's like they're terrible.
Let's go back to the beginning, the pre-credits with Nadja's hosting at Nadja's the nightclub. Nadja's hosting a couple of celebrity directors.
Yes, no, this is, we cannot not talk about this. This is amazing. It's like her club has become this like thing, this place to be kind of thing. Yeah, and we get some guests.
She says even humans are coming here.
Yeah. So Sofia Coppola is one of them, the director, and also Thomas Mars. And Jim Jarmusch are all there at City.
So who's Thomas Mars?
Well, look at that.
He was in the band Phoenix. Actually, that's incredible. Yeah. He's in the band Phoenix. I think I fucking saw this guy walking around earlier today because I was down at Roadrunner meeting my friend. And I was like, that guy looks pretty familiar. Man, I wish I had said something to him like, "Hey, we're doing our episode tonight."
Yeah, you could have had him be like, "You're listening to League Podcast."
He would have been like, probably like, "Leave me alone, guards."
Leave me alone.
I think he was going to get a cup of coffee because it was like earlier in the day, but they're playing down the street. It's so
he
funny.
did soundtrack.
I definitely saw this guy today. Wow.
He did the soundtrack in a lot of movies. So
that's the whole movie connection here.
Yeah. So he does soundtrack for everything. Boyhood, Now You See Me, which I actually kind of liked, I gotta say.
I like that movie.
Yeah. Woody Harrelson, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, but
both those movies.
Right. Jim Jarmusch though is Is it? And wait, that Sofia Coppola, they eat her, right? Right?
Well, yeah. The gag is at the nightclub on the menu. There's something called the celebrity special, and it costs $5,000.
Right.
And then they're like thinking like, what is this? They're like asking Nadja about it, and then Jim's like, wow, yeah. He's like, I can't really afford that. I don't make that kind of money. We gotta shoot in the morning because he thinks it's like a Long Island iced tea or something, or like a fancy
right.
expensive drink. He's like, I don't really make that kind of money, which is true because like who has $5,000 to just spend on something? You know what I mean?
Well, I bet Sofia Coppola does, but
for sure. I mean, maybe all three of them do. But,
he probably
still,
does. I mean, I know they paint him as this like indie director who doesn't have any money, but I mean,
right. Yeah, I guess that is kind of like that's the gag to him going like, they don't really.
Oh, I don't make because he's not like Steven Spielberg or something. Come on, he's still a famous director. I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Love Ghost Dog. But anyway, so yeah, the celebrity special spoiler warning is that the vampires get to pay $5,000 to eat one of the celebrities.
Yeah.
And Nadja's like, it's so much better when they ask for it themselves.
But it's so funny because throughout the whole episode, Jim keeps like leaving messages for Sofia Coppola and be like, "Oh, this is a funny gag," but
he keeps saying, "Oh, they make it look so real and everything." Yeah. Like, I don't know how you did that. It was great.
Yeah.
Call me back.
Yeah, I know. He's always. But anyway, the big thing of this episode, the main story, the A story, Freddie. It's called Freddie because Freddie is Guillermo's boyfriend, right? Lover. This guy that he's been talking to, we've seen him talk to him on the phone.
Yeah, we've seen FaceTimes, but no, not
right.
And like I love yous on FaceTime and stuff.
Yeah,
lovey.
He is visiting, but it's funny because he comes early. So yeah, like Guillermo is trying to clean up the house or whatever, right? Or he wants to get them all out, or I don't even remember what it is. But
I think he said he was gonna pick him up at the airport, but Freddie rings.
Right.
He's like explaining it to camera. He's like, oh, Freddie's gonna be here. We're just gonna spend some time in New York. Blah 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 blah. Oh, excuse me. He goes and answers the door, and it's Freddie. And then Nandor walks by, and he says, "Oh, that's quite nice of you, but thank you, but I'm not hungry right now." Cause
he brought a guy for him to eat. Yeah. So Freddie, is like one of those like, just like handsome, like just like cool guy, laid back. Like he's just a really nice guy. Al Roberts. I haven't seen him in too much. He looks familiar. He's got one of those faces, but
yeah, he's probably
looking at his IMDb. I don't really. Yeah.
Is he in Seth Let's Flats?
I don't see it on here, but yes, he is. You're right.
Because he looked like the guy. I haven't seen Seth Let's Flats, which is Natalia's. I'm sorry, Natasha's brother's show that she's also on. That wasn't so. Rachel was talking about it, maybe, or somebody was talking about it at your Jaws viewing party the other day.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I don't know if he's like the main guy on it, but I guess it's some other funny. You could get into a whole what we do in the Shadows universe. Like we are loving Wellington Paranormal so far.
Oh, okay.
And but I guess that's another one to watch when we're done with that show.
Yeah, I guess so. And he was on. You watch Ghosts, right? Do you watch the show Ghosts?
I love Ghosts. What did he play on Ghosts?
It says he played Francis in the.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Totally. I get it. I get it. Awesome.
Well,
I love it. I didn't connect him with Ghost, and now I know exactly who he is. Perfect.
All right. Well, he just has one of those faces, like I said, where he looks familiar.
He looks very fucking British.
Yeah, he is. He does look British.
We should campaign for him to be James Bond. What do you think?
Hey, maybe. He looks more like a Q. Like he could be the Q for the new James Bond.
Yeah.
If you don't know, okay.
Well, Q's gay.
That's right.
The latest Q is gay.
Good work. Right.
That maybe not, but maybe they carried it into the next iteration of the franchise. Let's say.
Yeah.
Check out our Bonding Through Bond episodes.
Yeah, check out our other James Bond. So, yeah, Nandor meets Freddie, and like, yeah, like it's all like he's into him. Actually, like he really likes Freddie. And meanwhile, he's not happy with Marwa. So,
and really, it's kind of there's the not romantic relationship between Nandor and Guillermo. So it's like not out of bounds to think that they would both be attracted to the same person. I think it's a little bit like maybe you shouldn't hook up with your best friend's girlfriend after they break up, kind of thing.
Well, what? There's a lot.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's
there's a lot to unpack here. What is going on? Is he just jealous because he doesn't want Guillermo to have anybody?
Right.
Or is he legitimately like Freddie? There's a great line.
Because you gotta always have to say, like, their default is that they're all idiots. You know what I mean?
Right,
so what's the dumbest possible reason for it?
Well, there is a great line when he says, "Could I steal Freddie from Guillermo? Of course, but that would be cruel. And also sloppy seconds." That's what he said.
Yeah, exactly.
I had that line down. But so
sloppy seconds was a popular when we were in high school.
Oh yeah.
You were like gonna talk some shit. That was like a real popular thing. It was a band, Sloppy Seconds, who like we used to book at the nightclub we used to work at. But yeah, that was like a popular phrase.
Is that I mean, I feel like is it not a thing anymore? I wonder. But was exactly what you were talking about. Your like friend's ex, girlfriend or boy or whatever. Your friend's ex.
Yeah, it's like maybe you shouldn't do that, but I can't say that it hasn't happened to me or that I haven't done it. You know what I mean? So it's like, when it comes down to it, if I were to like really think about it, like, I don't think that there's anything morally wrong with it.
But no, I don't think there's anything morally wrong. But I've certainly felt guilt
or felt bad because I felt they were doing it like to spite me or something. Like it creates a complicated set of feelings. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but there's also like sort of, to me, there's like the sort of humorous, the sloppy part of it, right? I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like we used to kind of joke about like, you want to go out with her because she dated him, and then it's kind of like, this girl, he's had his stuff in there or whatever,
and then you can like get into like, you could get into literal like, like. I went to art school, so I would hear literally about like people having like physical close contact with sex right after another person because they were all in a big bed humping each other. Like it was like what you do in the shadow. There's some room round back, old boy. You know what I mean? Right. So it was. Exactly. Have heard people say it like in the actual term or use it. Oh, and then I was sloppy seconds to myself on in there. Yeah. But, you know what I mean? People bragging.
That's why it's so funny because earlier on Nandor was watching them have sex or whatever, but like just having a conversation with Laszlo while he was having sex with Nadja, and then he's sloppy seconds because I don't know. It's with all the shit that they've done in their lives.
Is this the episode too where like, okay, so yeah, we were talking about Marwa and how we're gonna wrap up the story with Marwa in a way, and we'll get there. But he goes, things are kind of stale with Marwa, and it cuts to them and they're both just sitting in chairs, and Marwa's like, do you like sitting in that chair?
I know.
They have the most boring conversation.
It's so funny. It's like things are a little stale. Like they literally don't talk about anything.
It's very
they have
good.
Nothing to say.
And she's like, it was a little hard when I first sat down, but I put a cushion on it, and it's much better now. And he's like, great.
I mean, it is. I don't know. I feel like you're right. We could go on forever and be like, what? But this is what happens. Okay, we're gonna get there right now.
Get there right now. I just wanted to vamp for whatever I was talking
No,
about.
no,
I
no.
forget. Yeah.
He still has a couple wishes, right? The djinn is
Yeah,
still
because
there.
he has a couple wishes because of his wedding gift.
Yeah.
Who knows? Did he have any left when? Here's the other thing: on the wish counting meter, which I wish that I had a little like animation of like a clock in it exploding like we did in the last episode.
Like in the last episode. Yeah.
But like it would just be like a genie and then like a big question mark because like did he have any left over when it came to the wedding?
He used his last one.
He used his last one, okay.
On her family, right? Like her family.
Right.
But
maybe
then he gave him
early departure on Sunday.
Or did he give him Did he give him 3 or what? He gave him a wedding present.
3.
Is it 3 more wishes? Yeah.
And then he's like, "Can I wish for more wishes?" And then he's like, "Yeah,
like,
thanks a lot. Thanks a lot."
But he uses. I don't know if this is his last one. I think it is because I think this is it, right? He basically turned.
Or he has 2 more.
Maybe he does have 2 more. I don't know. But he uses a wish to basically turn Marwa into Freddie. And it's the weirdest thing. Like, this is weird. I know this show just does some weird shit, but this is crazy. Like,
this is wacky weird. Wacky, wild, Kool-Aid style.
Kool-Aid style, yeah.
I don't know.
It is so strange. Like, I would not have predicted this. Like we said, we tried to figure out what are they going to do? How are they going to write it off?
These last couple of episodes, not the, like they're not ever going and camping in the woods. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Like get the guys out of the house episode. That was like actually a little bit like kind of tropey thing about, girls' night in and stuff like that. They do in a regular sitcom, basically.
Right.
But yeah, these last two, like almost very... like the last one was meta, but this one's more high concept.
Right, definitely. But I never would have predicted in a million years this is how they were going to wrap up this storyline. But it also play into the Nandor Guillermo thing, like you said, and I don't know though, like what is the real reason? Does it kind of get him to sort of vicariously live through? Well, I mean, he doesn't have to vicariously. Not even vicariously. He makes his own Freddie. Like, it's just insane.
And like feels totally justified by it because it's his own Freddie. He's like, I didn't.
Right.
It's like we're roommates and I had some of your chocolate ice cream, so I went and got some more chocolate ice cream.
Yeah, I bought my own chocolate ice cream, so I wouldn't have to eat your chocolate ice cream. But this is the same guy. But so like, it's just.
And when they see each other, they just go. They're just like the Freddies meet and they both freak out.
Well, they have that amazing montage, right? Because Guillermo said Freddie was going to come and they were going to do the touristy stuff around New York, right? And then Nandor does like the same thing. So they do all the touristy stuff. They do it at night, right? Like
they kind of have that Captain America list of like stuff to check out.
Yeah. Oh, Nirvana. Yeah. Star Wars.
Yeah, and then it was like, but his was like, go to the Met and then go to the Whitney.
Yeah.
Go to these museums. Eat a street hot dog or a pretzel or something.
Right.
And then it was funny. So they're basically literally Guillermo and Freddie 1 are 10 steps ahead of Nandor and Freddie 2, doing the exact same things right close to each other. And then they cut to Guillermo go, oh, it's like so funny. He's like, I just immersed myself in hanging out with Freddie today. It's like so weird. It's like, I get so caught up in work that I like thought I saw Nandor like all day today, but I just need to relax and, blah, blah, blah.
I know, they're doing the same stuff. I guess
he is seeing him, but when they're like, there's like a little dance off, like kind of like a New York City, like I don't know, subway dancing. And so like they showed Guillermo dancing, and then they then Freddie and their dances, people like cheering them on, and then then it's Nandor, and it's clearly a double that can do like that Russian dance where you like get down on your legs and like kick them out,
Right.
You know, like I don't know what you call it.
I don't know what you call that either, but it's pretty
but
amazing.
you see it in like whatever, like video games of the or whatever. It's like this is the Russian thing. So, but they cut it like they just showed Nandor's double like from the back because it's just like black hair, and then they like kind of do a couple close-up shots and cut him in. But it's almost like pretty bad that like they probably did it on purpose. You know what I mean?
I know, like it's so obvious.
yeah.
They didn't even try.
That Kayvan can't really do that.
Yeah, no,
especially in that costume.
Right. But it made it look so funny, like as part of that like tourist montage. You know what I mean? Like,
and they keep showing like they do it kind of like Beatles like movie like split screen, and like they're both doing the same thing, like showing the Notebook or whatever. Yeah.
So like meanwhile, I don't want to because I want to wait to get to the big ending, the big climax. But meanwhile, Nadja is she's kind of in trouble here because she's trying to...
there's 3 stories in this one, actually. We spent a lot of time on that, but the others are equally important.
Of course. She's trying to replace, Colin Robinson, the business that he was bringing in.
Because Colin made all these demands, and Laszlo made a contract that's made out of indestructible witch's skin or something.
Right.
And we need to up his contract. So she won't renew his contract, so they hit the road. And that is hilarious.
It is.
But
hilarious. They do like the club scene or whatever. They're just going around to these little clubs. It's so funny.
And do you remember when you're also obviously a fan of The Good Place? Check out your Good Place episode.
Oh yeah, go back and listen.
So Megan Amram was like one of the writers on that show, and they would write like all of the different funny names for things.
Oh, like in the background.
Yeah.
And
then they would and Megan Amram would like tweet out like ones that like didn't get used or got cut or whatever, because she would like come up with like they couldn't even use them all because she had like hundreds of them, and they were all so funny.
Yeah.
But they kind of did that like with Laszlo going through all the like regular rock bands with
vampire
Tame and Paler.
Yeah, it was.
Kept going on.
I feel like Matt Berry probably said a lot of those just off the top of his head, right? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you're right.
Or like maybe they all wrote. I picture like probably even if everyone in the writers' room, that's probably like they each got one. You know what I mean? Like
you hear about these writers' rooms a lot.
Maybe Megan Amram did it. That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe they called her in special.
If you come up with like 3 that you're going to use on the show, there's probably 100 that
come to mind or whatever.
Yeah.
That is. I'm not even talking about the race, Bonnie Raitt.
Right. Yeah, and they go at the end. Like the end clip is just him rattling off different names, right? Of these bands.
And they're like on a shitty like Greyhound bus, and the thing looks old too.
I know.
They're just
amazing.
like and whatever. Baby Colin Robinson's like, this isn't as nice as the bus in Cameron Crowe's late 90s classic, Almost Famous, but it'll do.
I know.
And Laszlo's just like, we're gonna hit the circuit, boy. Just like in all those black and white films where they like have a train go by and then the calendar flapping by in the wind.
Right.
Spinning newspapers. They should have done that.
I know, but it doesn't work because he's too old, basically, right? Like that's what happens.
His voice is starting to crack.
Yeah, his voice cracks.
He doesn't sound like a young little baby anymore, and they're all booed him.
I know. None of the vampires want to see a teenager with a cracky voice.
Nadja has a solution. She's going to do some auditions.
Yeah. But then she doesn't buy it. She says, fuck them kids. This is a scary, sexy nightclub for adults.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she's drinking blood of people that were drinking, like alcohol. So she's kind of getting drunk on her boozy blood. And she's great. Like, she's hilarious as it. Like, she's
they did
really
that in like the first season when with the Baron, and they all like they were at a nightclub and those people were like fucked up on drugs, and then they drank their blood and they were all fucked up. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's another rule that they must stick with. That's awesome.
I mean,
I didn't
really
catch
funny.
that, but I thought she was just drunk on blood. But the way you explained
I think she described it.
The way
she described it, I think it was because the people were drunk. I could be wrong, but yeah,
I have drunk blindness.
she's fantastic. Like, you know what's funny is like Nandor, Laszlo and Nadja they have almost no interaction this season. Like, they don't do anything together. They're married.
They are, and it's a little bit like. There's even like when baby Colin Robinson comes back as a teenager to the nightclub, and she's like, "Who is this?" And you remember baby Colin Robinson? He's had a growth spurt.
Yeah,
but
literally
then
overnight, I think he's
and then like baby teenage Colin Robinson goes, "Can we go?" And then like Nandor's just kind of Laszlo's just like, let's go. And they kind of like leave, like kind of like how I mean, it's like that when you're adults and you see each other all the time. It's like, I'll see you later.
Yeah, and he's like an annoying kid who doesn't want.
I gotta go take care of the fucking stupid kid. I'll see you home.
Yeah,
right. No pomp and circumstance to them saying like, I'm leaving. It's like, all right, we gotta go.
Yeah.
We're leaving.
But
they were just away. They were just away anyways because they were like.
She's kind of mad over the whole contract thing, and she's trying to replace him and whatever. But
she finds someone though.
She's great though. That's really all I want to say. Even like with him, without him, whatever. She doesn't need a man or anybody else to prop her.
It's good to break up all the characters into their own things. And then they can couple up when they had to. I don't know when the headmaster was over there and they like. The first iteration was just we're the kids' parents. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense.
Yeah. Right.
And when they're fucking on the couch or whatever, it's not like they're not together.
Right. They've definitely had their like moments, but it's not anything that drives the story. She has her own story. He's got his own story. It's great.
Yeah, and his story is with baby Colin Robinson.
Yeah. And her story is the nightclub, but we'll get there. Well, you haven't watched it yet, but yeah. So those are the other storylines. Basically, wrapping up baby Colin Robinson, because he's not a baby anymore. He becomes like not regular. He's not there yet. He's not
an adult, but he's like and he has like you work with kids, but you were at college before. Like, they have those dumb like bags that like. It's like almost like a man purse that's like a sling over your chest. But he has one of those things. Yeah. But that's like totally what teenagers wear. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
And that's what teenagers say. Like, can we go?
They're not interested in anything.
Yeah.
So
Can we go?
Here we go. Yeah. But so that's and she doesn't really find anything like to replace him. She tries to do it herself. She tries to do like a song and dance thing herself, right? But it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's funny because I was listening to the lyrics like on my headphones. It's kind of like when I watched it on TV, I wouldn't catch like every little things, but if you're like listening to it on your headphones at work or whatever, she's like, "A big giant bird stole my brother." Like, her lyrics are so fucking funny. Or it's like the big giant bird's gonna steal our brothers, or it's like just some wacky fucking shit. It's hilarious.
Just making this up.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's so good. So good. But really, she is the best. No, I'm curious now. I kind of want to watch that show that we were talking about. What's it called? Seth Less Flats?
Let's Flats. Like, so it's Seth and he is a real estate broker and he rents apartments. But that was funny too with the Freddie thing, because Guillermo's like, how did you know my address? And he goes, because of the post you sent me. Oh, I mean mail. You Americans, I just can't keep up.
I know. Oh yes, you call it mail.
But how does it wrap with? I kind of forget what happens. I do.
Oh my God!
Freddie.
It's
Freddie
the most
is
ridiculous thing.
heartbreaking.
So Freddie,
Heartbreaking.
the two Freddies end up coming face to face, and of course Guillermo is like, "What the?"
Well, like Nandor realizes. Okay, yeah. Oh, Nandor. Did we say that he turned Marwa into Freddie? Yeah.
Yeah,
did, right?
yeah.
So like, but then he goes, I have to let this Freddie go, and he always wanted to see the world or whatever, and I feel like I'm freeing Marwa in a way by doing this, and so he sticks like $50 in Freddie to his pocket and sends him on the same train, looks like the same train that he took when he left, like at the end of last season. You know, they're like just down at the train. It looks like JFK, Red Line stop. Where that's what it exactly looks like, and I was like, North Dakota, obviously,
right, in North Dakota.
But yeah. So, but then the Freddies,
the Freddies end up together. Like the Freddies,
they go back home to England.
Yeah, like then they end up a thing. Like they don't. Does he hypnotize them to think like you're not going to be weirded out by this, right? Doesn't he kind of hypnotize them?
Yeah. And even like when original Freddie left, sort of Guillermo, and then Nandor was like, he's like, you can have sex with my Freddie. He's like, no, it's not the same.
It's so funny, like. It's so creepy though, too, in a way, right? Like, I mean, like that they would. Oh, I don't know, like that's how they wrap up the Marwa story,
but also
and
that's
the Guillermo
kind of
story.
like one of those like hypothetical, like high concept things. It's like, wouldn't you be ultimately most attracted to yourself?
Right. I mean, I guess you could, if you had a chance. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know, but really, I mean, it's, I guess the thing is, like I said, I never would have predicted it.
Yeah.
So that's a good
no way
thing.
To predict that. No
you
way.
Never would have said, here's what I think they're going to do with Marwa and Guillermo's boyfriend. They're going to be the same person.
Yeah. We were like, we kind of are, I mean, I was kind of like a little bit like, sad for Marwa, especially after she became just like agreeing with everything that he said and everything. You know, like you're just like, oh, she's like kind of stuck, and you know, they're not really doing, you know, they're not really in love. It's just because Nandor wanted to have a wife for some reason.
Right.
You know, it's just like his impulse. He couldn't control his impulse. Yeah,
and he had all those wishes, so he didn't really have to. He could just have whatever he wanted. But the funny thing is, it's just like what you said, really. Because I thought, right? I said, I bet on the last episode he's going to somehow free her, you know, and let her out into the world and say, okay, it's fine. But that's exactly what in his mind he did, right? That's just what you said. In his mind, he is freeing Marwa, but she's not. It's not Marwa. He turned her into another person. Completely.
I know, which is weird.
Ridiculous.
That's
so
like
funny.
That's definitely weird.
It's insane, but it's really funny. So in his mind, he's like, okay, it's all good, you know. And he doesn't feel bad in the least about Guillermo either.
Well, then cut to the post-credit scene and the Goodfellas music and everything.
The Goodfellas music? That's the Layla.
Yeah, Layla, like
piano exit. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's
I know it's
like
I know it's in Goodfellas, but Layla's its own thing, isn't it?
No, but it's like kind of like it's like when they show the people in the fucking meat lockers, like the montage at the end.
I love that scene. Oh
yeah, but they're playing Layla. That's what I just thought. It's
No,
like
you're right.
it's like at the
I think
end.
it's
It's at
yes.
the end of the movie and everything. So
Right.
at the end of the show, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're playing Layla, and yeah, that's when Guillermo, he's like, I'm using some of the money that I stole from the nightclub. I'm gonna surprise Freddie, and he sees the two of them together. And
I
it's just
know.
heartbreaking for poor Guillermo.
I know. He sees the two Freddies. Like, oh, it's so weird.
But it gets to the. I mean, I haven't seen it, and I don't want to talk too much about it. But it kind of wipes the slate clean. It kind of like in the penultimate episode, Guillermo gets the reset button hit him.
Yeah.
Pretty quick.
Yeah. But this is like, I mean, like it's
deals
not
with
the
Marwa
same.
and Freddie.
I know it can't be this. I mean, like how can you forgive? I guess he doesn't really forgive him. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, like you kind of ruined, like Nandor kind of ruined it for him. I mean, not kind of, he totally did. So
yeah, by
we'll
taking
just have
his,
to see.
it's so weird.
Let's have to see what happens. But
well, eagerly
what a
awaiting
crazy.
watching it.
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna check it out again before we record.
You have to.
Our
I
fine.
like to watch
not
these
our
episodes
penultimate.
couple three times before I do the pod.
Couple tree. But yeah, no worries. We'll get there.
We'll get there. We gotta put out these 2 episodes first, and then we'll get there. But yeah, so this was not as it's definitely mind blowing as the last episode, but it's different. It's kind of like a different vibe.
It is. Do you think people? I don't know, like people who are more sensitive, or do you think people are you think people would be put off by this sort of this turn in the Nandor Guillermo relationship? I don't know. I wonder what people.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of have like my own feelings about it, which is that I think that no matter what, those two are like in love with each other. Physically or romantically, maybe not, but there's definitely a love between them. And I think even when Nandor is trying to be nice, I think it's like him fucking up being affectionate toward Guillermo. You know what I mean?
Right.
Basically,
well, I guess I don't
down
know.
to
Is
the
Guillermo
wire.
as in love with Nandor, or is he more just like?
I don't know, because he still says that he's the familiar, and he's like kind of like he's always saying, oh, even when Freddie showed up, he's like, oh, I kind of like take care of the place, and, give me things or whatever, he's a protector of them as well,
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's complicated. It's complicated.
Yeah, right.
Guillermo.
It is.
I'm sure he's not happy, and I'm sure
No.
talk about that in the next episode. I'm sure we'll get there, but
we'll get there.
But yeah, I mean, as far as me, like not knowing anything about the last episode, I don't know what to think. I mean, I'm confused a little bit, but I think that probably we get to a nice reset like we do every season, or there's maybe a big thing that happens at the end. I don't know. I got to stop talking about it. And
just watch it. But I mean, it's funny. It's kind of like what you said in our last episode. Go back and listen to our last episode. Like the default is always just that they're idiots, right? I mean, Nandor is an idiot, so that's why. Like, if you want an explanation, he's just an idiot. Yeah, like you don't need.
That's the explanation.
He's an idiot, so you shouldn't expect anything else.
And that's not to say that he's not clever or nice or attractive or anything like that, but he is an idiot. Even though, and he does, want. There's like in all of these vampires, even if they have 0.001% of affection toward Guillermo, which is like that's 10 times the amount that vampires feel toward any human. You know what I mean? So even if it's just a little bit that they like Guillermo and don't want to see him in danger, he's still it's still probably pretty dangerous to hang out with vampires.
Yeah.
So like, it's a tricky thing. I always think kind of like like the familiar in the movie, right? Like she is like so like, coming over there, and thankfully Guillermo has more to him than her, so she was kind of
Right.
like a one note, like, pony, but
Yeah.
still funny.
Yeah, it was.
But
still
they're the
very
familiar
funny.
because they
I'm
want to
glad
be fucking vampires.
Right. They don't care. But I love,
That's his default.
Guillermo is a way more fleshed out character, and yeah, well, you'll just have to wait for the finale to see what happens. But meanwhile, we're gonna have that episode up. We have all the previous episodes from this season and from last season and other seasons, and we have Curbcast and we have League Podcasts. So check it out, leaguepodcast.com, wherever you get your podcasts. And also, we don't mention it this much. There's this podcast, the Vampire Council, has a Facebook group that you can check out some stuff over there. So if people still go on Facebook, who knows? But
They do.
We post stuff on there. So yeah,
we always post the episodes there. So if you are listening from the group, we appreciate you and you comment or like or whatever.
Yes.
Just let us know you're hearing it.
That's right. It's good to know. It's good to know that stuff.
Need that metrics.
Exactly.
SEO.
All right. Thanks. That's all we got, I think, for this one. But thanks, Clay. Thanks to you for listening.
You.
Yeah. Let's do this countdown. Do you want to count this time? Or
no, you do it because we practiced one already.
Yeah, we practiced. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Bat! He doesn't even do it that much this season, but that's all right.
He doesn't bat at all.
Yeah, he hasn't been batting.
He is so funny. And if you go on YouTube, like, you can get sucked into, like, best met Barry moments and stuff like that. There's so much stuff up there from all the different shows he's been on and whatever. Toast of London is hilarious. Like,
oh, I know. I really started just. Well, now all my other shows are ending, so I think it's a good time.
Barry.
Matt Berry. So
thanks.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Number 2.
Matt Berry watch-a-thon.
Number 2. Making my hand into a cup shape. To you.
A cup shape?
Thanks to like a U. Like kind of like the Lego hand.
Oh,
yeah,
I get it. Yeah,
you.
the Lego hand.
I figured I'd speak in your your language.
Yeah, speaking of my Lego fanaticism.
Love language of Lego. Lego is your love language.
It is.
It's one of the hardest guitar pieces in the world to play.